Hua. I am a serial entrepreneur from Winnipeg. I've opened a few businesses over the years. Start off with the events company, Sound Republic, concerts with Drake, Lady Gaga, J. Cole, Rick Ross, Bone Thugs, Tiesto, can go on for a while. Opened a few nightclubs, Republic, Opera, Rock Bar, Fame, Mystique, Green Room, and probably a few others I forget. A couple restaurants, Deer and Almond, Commonwealth with you. Yeah, I've been proud Winnipegger for a long time, trying to make things happen and just trying to be the positive, bring the positive side of things and just trying to make stuff happen.
So I think one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the podcast is because despite everything you just named, you still have fallen probably more times than anybody else. And despite how many times you've fallen, you still remain, I would say, delusionally optimistic, which is actually a good quality, especially as, I think most serial entrepreneurs have to be delusionally optimistic. But
you know better than most. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think that's actually a trait that's good, but you are probably embody that more than anybody else I know. So I think when we have a podcast talking about happiness, I think you're a good guest to have on.
I appreciate
that. Note, I think you've also, I think I've only ever seen you mad. I guess maybe I should give a bit of background as well. We have known each other since 2013. Mm-hmm. We have worked together. I've worked for you. I think you technically worked for me too.
You, yeah,
we're business partners, friends, and it has bounced back and forth between all those at one point in the last 13 years now, I guess. Yep. So with that being said, I think in those 13 years, I've only seen you upset maybe twice.
I'm curious to know which times those were.
Probably shouldn't say one. One of them was yelling at somebody on the phone. Okay. Another one was, more of an in-person thing. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's kind of start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. What was your first business?
My very first business, I would say, in terms of like a storefront, would be my bubble tea restaurant, a cafe in 1999. But before that, I would just do like stuff like selling hockey cards and baseball cards and comics and stuff like that. And I sold like small appliances. My parents had some stuff, they like a rice cooker grill thing that they had. So like I was always entrepreneurial and trying to do some business. But my first proper business where I had a lease and a storefront was Sweet Escape.
So did you know, because you had some entrepreneurial like aspirations before that, did you know that you were going to like open a business, or was that just kind of the first time that you knew that you wanted to actually open a business was leading up to that?
I actually don't even, because my parents are entrepreneurs, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been so much my family. And I grew up thinking I wanted to be a doctor, you know.
Well,
that's
okay. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, well, when I was a kid, like young in my elementary days, I thought I wanted to be a paleontologist. I loved dinosaurs. And I was like, I want to be a paleontologist, right? And I don't think that maybe there was no glamour or like, no, maybe like money in that paleontology. So I think I moved into like being a lawyer and being a doctor, something in medical. So, you know, that's what parents push you to do, right?
Yeah.
And then quickly I found out, like, you know what, I don't really do well around blood. So you can't be a doctor. And when I was young, actually, when I got argued, I get emotional, I would actually get like choke up. My dad's like, how are you going to be a lawyer? You can't even like argue. You get sound like you're all choked up, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe these fields aren't for me. You know what I mean? Looking back, I wish I would have went into law a little bit, but I think that being an entrepreneur is what was my calling from the beginning, clearly. So I mean, I think.
Why do you wish you went into law?
I feel like, you know what? I feel like I do feel like I could have done well in it. And I do feel like I would have been excited to do it. You know what I mean? But I don't think I could keep my attention on being just a lawyer, as you know.
It is a degree that would probably help.
It would help.
Entrepreneurial
yes.
pursuits anyways.
Yes, correct. As a layer, a part of business.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't think I would have been a lawyer full time. I couldn't be able to focus on that only, right? I went to university for 7 years and I almost got one degree.
Which degree?
I would have been at that time, would have been either kinesiology or linguistics.
And what was the issue? Why didn't you get the degree? Was it?
You know, I went to school. I went to Simon Fraser for a couple of years. I dropped out, came home, opened a multi-place.
Yeah.
I signed up. I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. So I went to 6 months of a graphic design course.
Yeah.
Dropped out of that. Went to U of M. Dropped. Wasn't out of that.
Okay.
School was never for me.
Okay. So bubble tea place obviously didn't work.
No, bubble tea place was, I wouldn't even say it was a disaster. I thought it was actually great for what it was. It was paying the bills.
So the quality was good?
Quality was amazing. The hype was there.
And it made money?
It was making money to pay the bills for sure at the beginning. Yeah, it was for sure. Yeah. It wasn't a big flop considering how early it was.
Yeah.
It was still considered successful for a certain point.
Yeah.
But it needed like coffee and sandwiches, which we added later.
Yeah.
it's hard to just do bubble tea. Now you can.
Yeah.
24, 26 years ago,
Yeah.
just selling, but even now you can't barely do it, let alone then, right? So it's hard. It was definitely, when you're 19, what do you really know about doing this stuff in marketing, right?
Yeah. So why did you close it then?
Just at a certain point, just that the costs were too high. I mean, I remember my rent was like $1,600 a month back then. I remember that number.
Yeah.
And it just couldn't pay the bills. I was the only one working around the clock by myself, so that we couldn't pay staff, and it was very exhausting. And there's some point where they're just like, listen, you need to give this thing up, right? So
yeah,
I just had to walk away from it.
So after losing that, why did you decide to start another business afterwards?
After that, I'm trying to think of where the internet pharmacy stuff came into play.
Was that the second business?
I think that was the second kind of like venture to move into.
Yeah. Did you do any raves before that?
So the very first rave was in year 2000,
okay,
right after the cafe opened up.
Okay.
So it led into that. We were selling tickets.
So there's still entrepreneurial pursuits.
100%.
So you lacked focus even back then.
Yeah, even back then, for sure. And the thing that's crazy, back then, I didn't know what ADHD was. So it was even harder to comprehend. Nobody did, right? Exactly. You couldn't even tell your parents you had it. They're like, well, no. So it was like, I didn't diagnose till like I was 35. You know what I mean? So imagine for this whole time, I don't know what's going on, but it makes sense. You look at the pattern of dropping out of all these things and all these projects, it makes total sense, right?
Yeah.
So then, we're still doing the raves, but the raves back then weren't selling like now. I was doing raves once every 6 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
It wasn't like now once a month, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like we were promoting for months in advance, and we were just doing it, I would say 3 max per year.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
And then, so second business was internet pharmacy.
Second business, I would love to kind of map this out, but I do believe the second one was internet pharmacy. And at that time, big boom, as you know, like people were selling the Canadian prescription drugs to the US. There's a big price gap that people were
some people hit it big in that too.
Exactly. Big. And I had an office in Miami, I had an office in Santa Rosa, I had an office in New Orleans, all set up offices, and Sacramento. We had 4 offices. So we were going. I was there in the States. I lived in the States probably like months of the year on the road, and I had family in each of those cities. That's how we expanded. And then we just had small little offices where people could walk in and get some consulting. It was awesome. And
what was like the key to that business? In order to succeed?
I did seminars for free at every single old folks home that I could find, like hundreds of them. Right. And we did advertising in the newspapers, tons of that. And we learned quickly how to design ads. It was really cool learning all that kind of stuff. And then that was the main thing, how to get the advertising. People just call in or email, and then we just fill the orders, right? Building the trust is the key. Once you have a few people ordering from you, then you get the other people referring you when you're saving that much money, referrals come in pretty fast. There was a big announcement, they were shutting everything down. And then overnight, me and Deep and my good friend Tommy were like, shit, we gotta go to the States and clear out our offices before we get stuck. We drove from Winnipeg to New Orleans, to Houston, to San Jose.
You went from office to office driving.
Every office, packing this SUVs and dropping off stuff with my family's garage.
So why did it go down?
The government decided it was enough.
The American government.
The American government decided that was the end of it. So then from there, you couldn't have a storefront set up.
So you were like going up. You were opening offices, you're getting sales, you had marketing tactics that were working, and then it just got...
It was too late. We entered the market 2 years too late.
So who was able to succeed after that? Like out of those companies?
The people that are still going today, have offices probably like in like the Bahamas or like overseas.
So they weren't stationed in the States?
Or in Canada even. So now, so there's a lot of loopholes, right? So eventually there's a price gap, not even just with Canadian generic drugs. It could be in Europe, it could be in Australia. There's generic drugs everywhere, right? So the smart guys just went offshore completely. And they were just brokers to find cheaper meds, which still goes on today.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you like the business?
I loved it. I had so much fun with it. It let me travel.
Okay.
It was cool to just I was not a public speaker until that time. I'd learned how to speak in public, right? I was very nervous. I enjoyed selling. I enjoyed like the expanding the cities. I loved the just meeting new people. I thought it was great. I would have kept doing it if I could, for sure.
Have you ever tried a business like that again? Like something that's like plays into the same...
I think the next thing that's even similar to that will be Hostly.
Okay.
I think that's the only one.
So 24 years later or so is the next closest business to that.
Yeah.
What was after the internet pharmacy?
After the internet pharmacies, we would have that would be around 25, 26. I was still throwing raves. The next storefront business was, my poker rooms was a big one. I ran poker rooms for a good chunk of my 20s.
And you enjoyed that?
I loved
because I
doing
know
that.
I knew you were playing poker.
Yes, so I loved playing. I took a big win over a
Okay.
few months online playing online poker. Took that money, and I didn't like the life I was living playing poker, although I was
So
winning.
you had made a bunch of money, but you didn't like.
I didn't like the fact that I would like there were days where I would sit in front of the two screens and play poker for like 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And my fiance wife at the time, she would bring me like lunch, and I would sit, I would eat, and she would bring me dinner. I was sitting.
So it took the joy out of something.
It took the joy out of life that I love doing, and it's like this is now just work, and that's what
Yeah.
you need to make money, right?
Yeah.
And even though I made some decent money, good money, like a living off it, I decided at the time I'm not going to keep doing it. So I took the poker winnings, decided to stop playing, which I wonder how life would have went if I kept playing. But and then I opened a restaurant on Corridon.
So you went from poker room to restaurant.
Poker room, internet pharmacy to poker to restaurant. Yeah.
And why did you open the restaurant?
I really don't know. We had a space that we were playing poker in, funny enough, and they were selling the business. So I decided I was going to take it over and turn it into. I felt Winnipeg was lacking like this Japanese tapas concept that they had in Vancouver called Gu, Hapa, and those kind of places, right?
Yeah.
So the vision was to like kind of do something like that in Winnipeg. So we ended up hiring a chef from a really good sushi restaurant, and he was like a great guy to work with, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
But we didn't know anything about running a restaurant. Imagine fast forward 20 years, what we've been through, right? It's still difficult now, right? So imagine 20 years ago during
the most needlessly difficult business. Yeah.
The most difficult. You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, like when you're new to everything, and I see it, I hear and I see this all the time. It's like, oh, I got a good chef, so I can open up. Like, oh, do you have a good general manager?
Yeah.
Oh, how about your systems and what kind of stuff? Who's going to be operating? Who's going to be handling the accounting? As you know, how much cash flow do you have to fund this thing if it's going slow?
Yeah.
All these things that you don't think of when you're opening a business. I think most people are just kind of like, oh, we got good food, we got a good location, we're gonna be okay, right? So, yeah, that was a tough one. So me and my friend opened up the restaurant, and that was like we lost. That went over budget again, like construction delays, like all the things, just like
the typical
stuff. And I wouldn't say it was a disaster. It was good for a little bit, and it just didn't last either.
So you took the money from poker, which you enjoy, but you weren't enjoying it anymore, to open a restaurant because you saw a gap in the market.
Yep.
And you've had a good chef.
Yeah.
Did you actually enjoy the whole operational side of running the restaurant?
Back then, I was definitely very hands off of what was going on. I wouldn't even know. Like now, I feel like I have a better understanding when we go to talk about our restaurant. I can even though I'm not there, I can understand the issues.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't even think I was even curious of the issues.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You just were like,
I was just like, okay, we're running cool. The chef's we got all these problems. Like I'm 25 years old. Like, okay, like, what do you want me to do? So back then, I didn't care. I was just so like not focused on it,
So when the restaurant closed, were you like, okay, financially? Were you like now in the hole? Was it like a disaster situation?
Yeah, no, I was. At that time, I'm in the hole from the events because the events were not making money back then.
Okay, so you're still doing events on the side. Still doing events were not making money.
They're not.
While the restaurant is losing money.
I would make some, I lose more. Make some, lose more. Make just enough to keep yourself like excited to do it. Lose not too much where you don't get killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the worst part. Sometimes you need to get broken. So you stop.
So you take a break.
And then so we do the restaurant. The restaurant loses money. Now I'm in debt. Like I've lost everything I put into it. Now we're in debt. We're losing money. We sell the restaurant. I've actually never done all this for document. I should actually document all this. I wish I would known you were going to ask me this stuff. I would have done a little more homework. After the restaurant closes, I don't even know what I did. What year is this? This is probably 2017. My son's born. Yeah, I had to sell my condo.
Are you still married at the time?
I'm still married. And I'm going through a divorce. And
was the divorce at all related to the business?
I don't think it was the trigger, but it didn't help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. So added stress.
Stress. Yeah. I wouldn't say that was the catalyst, but definitely didn't help.
Yeah.
Son's born this time, Alexander. Divorce happens a year later, and I sell the condo, I sell the business, and move back at home, my parents' house. We'll probably move back to my parents probably 7 times over the course of the past 12 years.
Well, it's good to have somewhere to go back to.
My parents for always leaving that basement suite open for me. I think probably 7 times over the course of this. The story we'll talk about.
And is this the first time?
This is the first time.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
this is the first time because I've then no, actually no, because I left to Simon Fraser, so I'm out of the house already, right?
Okay.
I moved back home, then I'm
So
back in the
after
house.
university, yeah.
After university, yeah, after university,
There's a
then I
lot of
move out.
interesting timelines going on.
Yes, there's a lot going on here. And 2009, 2008, this shortly after. Now I go into EEC.
So from there, the next
Yeah,
storefront business was EEC.
I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but from what I can remember, EEC
So
is the big
how
play.
did you get the money to then go into?
How crazy is this? So I always assume we don't know business, right?
Yeah.
You have to buy businesses.
Yeah,
Or
straight up.
yeah, you know what I mean? This is right. You know what I mean, right? You don't assume like you can just walk in and just, you know, to lease a space and it's free. Like, oh, this comes with everything. So
Yeah.
and so now I go into business, I'm like, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
Like, now we have different kind of leverage and different experience, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, this is where I meet Sabino. Now I've known Sabino for a long time with Empire and everything else.
So he owned the building back then?
That's
still?
right.
Okay, he's on it for a while. Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
he bought it after it was Mezzo, turned into Vertigo. I was
Okay.
promoting some events at Vertigo.
And that was a nightclub.
That was a nightclub
Okay.
before EEC.
Okay.
I promoted some events at the Empire. I did Method Man and Red Man there. I did a show upstairs. The first Frost was on the third floor of the Empire, second floor of the Empire, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was already we were very familiar. He knew I could bring out people. So there's a level of trust there over the, 5, 6, 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Steven, I've got this space available. Do you want it? I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't afford this. Like, what does this thing cost?
Yeah.
He's like, nothing. I'm like, what?
He's like, I need somebody to sign the
I'm
lease.
like, what do you mean? He's like, come in, you can use it, sign the lease. I'm like, and my mind was like, blown. Like, you have no, like, I was like, this is crazy, right? So I'm like, holy shit. So we signed the EC. I take it over. I'm like, I'm just gonna get into the nightclub business, right?
Did you have a team? Like, did you have a partnership
At
group?
this time, nothing. Like,
So
I've got
literally
no team.
just you.
I wish I could think of who managed. My sister was involved. Deep was involved back then to help
Yeah.
manage some stuff. It definitely like not a big team. I can't even think of who at the time was working with me, but I take it over and it was just an event center. So at the time I'm booking like Roger Sanchez, Global DJs, Diesel Boy, some cool
Yeah.
shows, right?
Yeah.
And it's just paying the bills. There's no club events. At the time, I didn't even do any weeklies.
Mhm.
There was no weeklies to throw. I wasn't a weekly promoter, right?
Yeah.
I was only an events guy, only a rave guy. That's a hip hop show. So we brought some hip hop events there. And I guess after like 6 months, I was like, man, we gotta do something. We gotta do a good nightclub. This is not working, right?
Yeah.
So I realized why this guy gave me this space for free. You know what I mean?
'Cause
So I'm
it's
like
not
paying
that
the bills.
easy.
It's not easy to do,
Why
right?
did you think you could do it? Because you had done events that were
Because
successful.
at this time, I was doing events at like Blush and
Yeah.
other venues, right?
Yeah.
I was already doing shows with other venues. I
Okay.
saw the money I was making, Sam at Blush.
I mean, 2,000 people room. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
so we did like Armin there. We did
But
Jabberwockies.
you lost money
Girlicious.
on Armin.
I did, but I always say I lost money because I didn't get the bar, right?
Okay,
like
so you were like, if I own the bar, now I'm gonna get money from all angles.
That's the logic. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have sponsors. I don't have the bar. I'm
So
losing
you weren't
money.
necessarily making much money from events yet.
No.
But you said I will now make money on events because I can get the space for free.
So optimistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So delusional optimism.
Delusional optimism.
Got you into this space.
Yes, that's it. So I signed the space.
Yeah.
We do these events there, and it was making money. Like I said, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't making enough. The shows were now better.
Wasn't making
obviously,
enough for what?
to be profitable. You're paying the rent, paying the bills. We were never behind on rent. We're still paying the rent. We're not making any money.
Yeah.
So we're doing these shows, and now the only person making money is the landlord.
Yeah.
The next step is thinking maybe we got to buy the building, but we're not even doing enough money to do that. But the whole point is we know we're making money, but it's not getting to keep it and stuff, right?
Okay.
And the craziest thing, I don't even know if we'll talk about this. So I'm like, okay, I want to buy. We should open a club. We need to open a nightclub. I traveled to Toronto,
But we already had one.
but we don't have a club. We have an event center, right?
Okay.
So now we need a nightclub because that's who makes money, right? Every week.
So the
Plus
issue, the
events.
issue with this spot was not whatever.
The concept was wrong.
It was just that you didn't have a nightclub. Okay.
Concept was wrong.
Okay.
Events aren't paying the bills. They're not booking enough events. And back then, you know how this is. You book
Yeah.
a promoter. They say it's going to be 500 people and 200 people show up.
Yeah.
I don't know this game. I was given the room for free, undercharging, not taking deposit. All the stuff I know now, I knew nothing back then,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not maximizing the rentals. I'm
Yeah.
just losing money here and there off everything. It's just a headache, right?
And who knows about theft?
Yes. And then that's compound all that with me not even
Yeah.
knowing how to watch stuff back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm a
Probably
good
way
expert
hard,
now.
Way harder to watch it back then too.
Oh,
Yeah.
way different. The systems weren't even there back then. And then all the
Cameras
and
weren't
then-
even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way harder. So then my partner at the time, he's like, you know what? I can get us a loan I'm going to take a loan against my parents' house.
Okay. Okay.
Which is now looking back the most insane
to
thing
open
to
a
do.
nightclub. Yeah.
To open a nightclub.
Loan against his house.
But
Okay.
it worked out amazing.
Okay. So what was the nightclub?
This is Republic.
Okay.
That was the best club. That and Green Room for sure, the most profitable clubs we've ever opened. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So Republic. What year is that?
This is 2009 March.
Okay. So you're losing.
Opens up.
So you're not making money at the place. You have enough optimism to realize that
To
you just need
mortgage
to
my
change the
parents'
concept.
house.
Enough optimism to mortgage your friend's partner to mortgage the parents' house.
Yeah.
You open it and it's a hit.
Huge hit.
Why was it a hit?
I think that we filled a gap in the market, as
Okay.
we always try to do.
Did you guys knew there was a gap? No, there was a
Yes.
gap? Okay.
We traveled enough. I spent a week in Toronto.
Okay.
Was there flying around, checking out concepts, seeing what's missing, seeing the city, missing shows, missing everything, you know?
So
and
you did market research. You actually knew what you were doing in this
Yes.
case, opening it.
a lot of research for sure.
Yeah.
We opened it, and I would say that it opened good. Like, things were good. And then by the 6-month mark, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We're doing 1,000 covers every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Nuts, right?
Yeah.
So, like, based on those numbers, no club's doing that now. You know,
Not
what I
even
mean? Winnipeg,
close.
not even close, right?
Every
1,000
club in the city together is not even doing
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Right? So 1,000 covers a night,
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. Plus we're open Wednesdays and Thursdays. Plus we're doing events.
Yeah.
It was, to me, enormously successful. But again, running a business new, we're not paying our taxes on time, and all these different things, theft, and just we're having.
And this was probably your first taste of real money.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I made money in the internet pharmacy.
Yeah, you made money in your
It's not
pharmacy.
like
you
this.
made money in poker, but this was like
No,
real money.
this is like bigger
from
money
that
for sure.
business. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Republic was probably doing well over $2 million a year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the revenue was there, cash flow was there. But again, we're learning about sponsorships, and I wish I knew half of what I know now to run that
and
business.
theft again too.
And theft. So whatever it was doing could have been fucking 2.5 million based
Yeah.
on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but again, it was such a wild time.
Yeah.
Like, we're just new club owners, and it's just this crazy thing, and this buying cars that you don't need. It's just, honestly, tons of financial
you-
responsibility.
Yeah. So you had came out of a divorce, opened an event center, went into, and then ended up opening a club. Club is wildly successful. And from there, you decide you need more clubs.
From there, I'm like, you know what? If you want to make more money, you got to own more clubs.
So do what's working, essentially, that thought.
Do what's working.
And I guess there was enough people going out in the Winnipeg market that you figured if you just own a larger percentage of the demographic that's going out, you could
Yes.
make more money.
So basically, but here's the thing.
And I guess you had people that couldn't get into the club too, so you figured you could cater them.
No, not even that. So I didn't open another hip hop EDM club.
Yeah.
That wasn't the goal. I would look for other gaps in the market. Since
And what was the gap that you saw?
we opened a gay club called Fame,
Which was successful.
which was successful,
Yeah.
lasted for years,
Yeah.
right? And most people wouldn't know that I even was a part of it, opening that or naming
Yeah.
the club. Like,
Yeah.
the name was from me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but I had partners that were the face of it, that ran it, and that's how I didn't mind doing it, because I realized I can't cannibalize the venue we have, and I don't want to spread myself too thin.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's better people being the face of other venues, right?
Yeah.
We opened Rock Bar, which was before that, I think, was the Ranch. Then it turned to Rock Bar, or vice versa.
No, it was Rock
Exactly.
Bar to the Ranch.
It was
Before that was Coyotes.
Coyotes, correct,
Coyotes,
yeah,
Rock
correct.
Bar, Ranch, Reset. Yeah.
So at the time, because people knew I was opening clubs, anytime a club was closing, the owner would call me. They
Okay.
got the space.
So they knew you were hungry for more.
They knew I was hungry for more, then I was doing it. You know,
Yeah.
we're doing it
I think
well.
you're doing it well. Yeah.
Like, you know what? Here's a good tenant to have. So either the building owner or the club owner that wants to sell. But people are now, they want to sell these clubs, 200 grand, 300 grand, 500 grand. So I'm just like, sure, 300 grand, I'll buy
So
one here.
you were buying them then.
I was buying some of them, because some
Yeah.
of them were making money.
Yeah.
Some of them were not.
So which one did you buy, for
We
example?
bought Mystique.
And that was making money.
That was cash flowing.
Yeah.
And then we turned it into Opera
So you bought it as Mystique.
as Mystique, and ran it for a
How
bit.
long did you run it as Mystique before you flipped it to the Opera?
Not long enough. I don't even know what happened there. That was also messy too.
And Opera was not as much of a success.
It's a fucking disaster. Thanks for underplaying that, but it was.
Well, because by the end, it wasn't as bad, right? Like
oh no, it was bad.
in the whole course of it, the amount of money that lost, there was no money made. It lost money, but it wasn't as bad as the first.
No,
Yeah.
that's the worst one. That was
Yeah.
the first chip to like crush me my whole life. My
Yeah.
complete the bankruptcy was Opera.
Did Green Room come before? Green Room was before
Green Room was
Opera.
happening during Opera.
So Green Room is a crazy success too, because you guys
Crazy
are busy
success,
3 nights
correct.
a week. Republic is still going
Correct.
for like another whatever.
Republic is
Opera-
floating along at this time when
Yeah.
Opera opens. Opera
Yeah.
then
and Opera goes to shit.
basically opens, but it's so over budget that it can never recover.
Why
right.
did you guys go over budget?
construction. That was my first.
Was it because you guys the design was too crazy, or was it because
poor hiring with the construction team for sure, and then just causing delays and months late and extra costs and ordering things.
So let's play this. If in hindsight, if you were to do the exact same thing now, try to do the exact same design, how much percentage wise, how much cheaper do you think you can actually do the same kind of design?
Just knowing what I know
like if you
now,
hired the right people.
Just knowing what I know now, I would never flip a room that much.
Fair enough. It was too much of a change.
It was too much of a strip down.
Yeah, it was crazy. The whole thing was it's completely different.
So again, the way I think now, as you know, I see something, I'm like, can I make this 30% better for how cheap, and let's make it maximize.
So for those who don't know the change between Mystique to Opera, what was the biggest
Well, $75,000 chandeliers. You know what I mean?
Three of
them.
Three $75,000 chandeliers. Okay,
so $75,000 total.
That's okay. Yeah, $75,000 total.
Yeah.
The whole room is white.
The whole room is white, top to bottom.
Custom white boots.
Custom white boots, flooring, ceiling, walls.
Was that Ducharme?
Everything. Ducharme, no. That was the first time I went away from Ducharme, and I regretted it.
Okay.
Because if you stand on that booth, it breaks.
Oh.
Whereas their stuff would never break, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's funny enough. After we switched, when it flipped to Opera to 4 for 1, they went back to Ducharme.
And those were high. No,
still last now.
Never broke.
Never breaks. Yeah. So it's funny. Like if Wayne watches this, I apologize for leaving you that one time, Wayne. But he was awesome. Every single venue, happy. The one time we're like, we gotta cut costs, it was like the worst. Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
And we still spent almost $1 million there.
So that sources of money, but is Green Room making you enough money that the loss at Opera doesn't matter?
No. So right now, like the money at every club is sustaining other venues. At this time, I also am paying the rent at Dylan's, which I bought.
So this is when you were starting Rec Room.
At this time, while Opera's running, there's a lot to pay attention to.
Okay, so you have Republic,
Republic open, Green Room open.
Yeah.
I believe Rock Bar's still open. Okay.
Was Rock Bar losing money at the same time too?
Rock Bar's barely making any money.
So Rock Bar's barely making money. Republic's floating. Green Room's making money. Opera's losing money. And then you decide to go buy another spot.
I already have another spot because if someone offers it to me again, gives me a quote unquote good deal, and I end up taking Dylan O'Connor's.
Yeah.
With no real concept in mind, because I just really wanted to take the space.
Yeah.
Just the stupidest logic, and eventually becomes Rec Room. Okay.
So this is when optimism goes wrong.
This is where optimism goes terribly wrong.
Okay.
And this is where I'm also carrying the lease in 2011 for what is now Deer & Allman. I pay the lease at Deer & Allman before it becomes Deer & Allman for 1 year straight.
Were you planning on turning it to Deer & Allman, or was it a different restaurant, or what's going on?
That was going to be Gu Izakaya.
So you were going to go back to your Japanese restaurant.
That's right.
To the beginning.
Yes.
Because did you feel like now it was time?
I don't even know.
It didn't work before, or was it just?
I think what happened now is I'm addicted to securing leases and opening places that I'm not even thinking.
So you got so hooked on the concept that you could get leases just places
for nothing, for cheap, or even for expensive, and I just wanted to open all these.
Were you budgeting?
I'm not running budgets. I know I'm an accountant I'm working with.
Okay, so you just figured it would work itself out.
100%.
Okay, so optimism going wrong. Okay,
I figured that I'm making enough money at one place. If I want to make more money, let's open more businesses.
Yeah.
One of my friends at the time, he steps back.
But why didn't you think about making the ones that were losing money?
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. So where were you 20 years ago? So he says, Steven, why did you want to open more businesses? It was an ego thing or money? I'm like, at the time, I didn't think it was an ego thing.
No, you just figured.
I just thought it was going to be, listen, I'll make more money, I got to open more businesses, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not thinking straight. I think I'm running on this high of just trying to do more things, and you feel successful, and how do you make more impact, do more, right? Every business is something different.
Yeah.
Right? One's an event center here, became EC. No, Dylan's becomes Marquee.
Yeah.
Event center. Because now I don't have an event center because we had Republic.
Yeah.
So now we can book all the socials, all the events would go to Marquee.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that. Yeah.
Holy soul, she just forgot about that one. So then we got the lease at Marquee, the lease at Deer & Allman, the lease at Mystique.
Were you personally liable for any of the leases?
I was personally liable only for the lease at Marquee.
Did that bite you in the ass or not?
Later on, it does. That's what definitely triggers the bankruptcy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, definitely. Also help.
So you have Marquee, and then it goes into Rec Room.
Yes. So then Republic eventually sells.
Okay.
It's the crazy thing.
Before Rec Room opens.
Before Rec Room opens.
Okay.
Yeah. Before Rec Room opens, and the cool thing about Rec Room was that is also a little bit before its time, right?
For the younger ones listening, this was Rec Room before Cineplex
So
had a Rec
we
Room.
owned the name Rec Room before Cineplex owned Rec Room.
Yes.
So if Cineplex is
Many-
watching this,
many
you're
years before.
lucky.
Yes.
Because if I had stayed open, that would have been a little bit of a problem.
Yes.
So we were a ping pong hall, arcade, beer hall concept with sports.
And this was kind of like a master plan, wasn't it? Like it was like going to be the
yeah. This was my big thing. I
Yeah.
thought this was the next big thing. And nightclubs are fading. Let's try something different. Back into the restaurant space. Another just headaches and headaches. Oh my Lord.
So
yeah. At that point, I'm paying around $80K a month in rent.
Between all the spots.
All the businesses, yeah.
And this was so Republic had just sold.
Republic had just sold to a group that turned into Mall's Beer Hall.
Yes. And you helped them with that though too, didn't you?
I tried to walk away, but they made me stay and wanted me to stay via partner. And I stayed and helped launch that as well.
So did you have to sell anything else in order to make Rec Room work?
I had investors.
Yeah.
Also, that should also step into this. At the time, keep saying at the time, but there was investors, people throwing money everywhere.
Yeah. So everybody saw the successes.
Everyone
They
sees
saw how many
wins.
people are going out. And
Yeah.
because there's that many people going on, I'm sure a bunch of them want to be part of the action.
Yes.
The ones that have money that are going out.
And they can see, and there was no secrets of this one's over budget. They can see which clubs are losing money.
100%. Yeah.
But they also see, well, this guy's making money doing cool stuff happening. I want to be involved.
Well, there's always the guys that have money. They're like, well, if I lose my 50 or 100 grand or
Yeah.
whatever, at least I get to be cool.
Be a
for
part
you.
of something. Be a part of something cool.
Yeah, they
something
want
different.
yeah.
Obviously it helps, right? So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a secret of things were tight, but also you can see that things are going well. They're and people sometimes I always had a running joke if I was riding the bus one day back then, people would think I'm buying the bus.
Yeah.
I couldn't convince someone, even when I'm being honest. They think you're being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're I'm not doing that well. It's not making that much money. Oh, sure, you're okay.
Yeah.
Here's 50 grand anyway. You know what I mean? Let's just make
Yeah,
it. Because you know what I mean? Why would a guy have 10 clubs and not making money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think that there's no logic in that, right?
So they're delusionally optimistic too.
People are generally
they want to look at they want to hope for the better.
But here's the thing: a project like Opera, like Rec Room, the financials are there, the projections are there. They can decide to invest or not, right?
Yeah.
You look at Rec Room, people love the idea.
Yeah, it's a new idea.
It's a fun new idea. It wasn't
it's a new idea, new spot, big spot.
It wasn't like something like this is something. So
the guy that
crazy
owns all the clubs is trying. Is doing the new thing.
Exactly. Oh, he's leaving clubs going to do this now. It felt like the right move, and I don't think I would have invested into it.
100%. If you saw the new concept coming out. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's no reason why.
And you could have sold. You would have invested.
100%.
You would have sold. Yeah,
I would have invested.
Yeah, I think that it was not a bad idea, and it was the right time to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It just was underfunded, and again, contractor screwed us over there. So it wasn't, to me, again, that place was making money.
So how many times have contractors screwed over all over the place?
So when I become ultra successful, I will make an app that would just help people not get screwed over by contractors. That's a goal. Just as a passion project, not to make money, the people need to protect themselves.
This is how you get back.
This is how you get back.
Yeah.
This is the project where, listen, we fund it. People can save money.
Because too many people don't know what they're getting.
It's just such a crime what people go through. Don't even have the education, the experience to get ripped off like that.
I see it all the time, even right now.
All the time.
From the real estate stuff I do, I could call the guy and be like, oh, this looks a bit too high. Oh, what? I'll take off 10 grand. Like, oh, so the $20,000 bill went to $10,000 bill just because?
How? Yeah.
Or just $10,000. And so
there needs to be some safeguards in place in that industry because there really is none. Anyone can shut down, put a new corporate. You don't know who's who, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's always been on my mind, or something that needs to be done.
Until the government finds out about it and all the contractors.
Yeah.
All the contractors stop making money off the government.
There you go. And all the kickbacks and everything else. That's an whole other series for a podcast.
So now Rec Room is opening. Did you know that things were going wrong? Because you started losing money at some places. Did you know things were actually going wrong at that point? Or are you starting to panic? Or what was the mindset in that scenario?
So just before Rec Room opens, Summer of Sound starts.
So you launched your first music festival.
Yes. So in this time, Summer of Sound was successful, but the money was going into Rec Room.
Okay.
All the clubs weren't making that much money. Green Room's probably covering the bills for opera. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there's no money being made. I sell the condo back at my parents' house. Rec Room opens.
Third time back to your parents' house.
Probably third time at this time, yeah. And Rec Room, yes, because I was renting a condo downtown for a long time. And then I go back to my parents after if they start losing money.
What did it feel like to have to go back to your parents' house a third time while you see yourself losing money all over the place?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I love being at home, so it's not really I love being around my parents, so I'm not hating it. It's more like a success thing, an image thing, and I don't mind it as much. And it wasn't as bad as it sounded, but it's kind of, you want to just kind of have your own place and do your own thing.
But did you feel like things were like collapsing? Because you had all these places, and
for sure, things are collapsing. I mean, you could see like Rec Room was just such another, like, they think the contractor probably cost us about 200 grand.
Like over what they should have cost you?
So the delays cost us about 50 grand.
Yeah.
He stole, I think, 75 grand.
Jeez.
And another 100 grand was caught that we had to raise more to cover what was missing, right? So there's
so literally just over $200,000 of nothing.
Of nothing.
Yeah.
Completely nothing.
Literally nothing.
Yeah,
okay.
literally nothing. And we get delayed whatever amount of time. And the place is not finished. So that if we finish what he promised, we'd be only like 75K and we're done. Yeah. The place is done the way we expected.
Yeah.
We opened with no flooring. You know what I mean? Like, we just left the concrete because we just couldn't afford to do it, right?
Yeah.
So the place is not the way it should be, but it's still making money. The weekend is still cash flowing, but it can't afford to cover the debts. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the most painful part.
Yeah.
As half-assed as it was, as over budget as it was, the concept was still successful and paying bills, but not enough to pay debt, right? Now that's the problem, you know?
Okay. So now what happens when Rec Room closes?
Rec Room closes, and that was the saddest, darkest chapter of my life for sure.
So would you say that was like the first time?
Rock bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did that feel
like? A lot of bad thoughts. Bankrupted my sister, bankrupted myself. The worst feeling in the world. That was definitely the lowest of my low. I actually was in depression, I would say, for about 6 months. No sense of humor, no smiling, no joking, no nothing. Wasn't even myself anymore. It was the lowest ever, for sure.
How'd you get out of it?
You know, one of my good friends at the time, Little D, he brought me out of it. He's a big part of that. My girlfriend, fiance right now, Kaylin, she was a big part of that as well. Family being there, friends being there, people seeing me, giving me their positive like feedback, and then we do BOA, and then that brought me back up a little bit, right?
So we did BOA Fridays.
We did BOA Fridays.
So
together.
You went back from having like 10 different places, let's say, just to put a number on it.
None.
They had a music festival, launched new music festivals, making money, and then went from 10 to literally 0.
Yeah.
So everything was gone there. Rec Room, Opera, Green Room, Republic.
I now probably have like
Deer and Almond.
Deer and Almond is still running.
Okay.
Not profiting enough to make any money, but I still own some on paper.
Okay.
I at this time now I move into my girlfriend's house.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're moving into there for some reason.
So you hit absolute rock bottom. Everything's gone, and you enter depression, and then your friends and support system, I guess, kind of help get you out of it after 6 months. And in order to get back on your feet, that's when you decide to.
So I realize that I don't have any money to open any business anymore.
Then are you in debt, or you just don't have any money?
I'm in debt now. I'm in debt probably. We're still around $1 million.
Okay.
I've lost or I owe.
So you went from 10 or so businesses, a lot of them successful, a lot of them groundbreaking for Winnipeg, to 0 businesses, $1 million in debt, depression. What's your plan to get out? How do you get out?
I literally have no plan in mind. All I know is that it takes me some time to get out of my funk. And I decide, if I'm not owning businesses, let's just try to be a promoter, right? Okay. And if there's no overhead involved, I've got a network. People like to go to my parties, so let's just try something different. I've never been strictly a promoter before, right? I've always been the owner. So I outside of my raves.
Yeah.
So I still have Summer of Sound. I reach out to BOA because they said, listen, your Fridays are dead. Your Saturdays are not that. Your Saturdays are busy.
Yeah.
Can I take your Fridays? Negotiate a good deal with Sam. I talked to Carbone at the time as well. They have their Saturdays open, I think. Remember that, right? And then eventually it spawns into I do 8 weeklies.
And you're still doing Green Room Thursdays then too?
No, Green Room Thursdays is gone by then. Green Room is done by then. Yeah.
Was it? Because I was doing Thursdays with you at Green Room.
Right, never mind. Yeah. We're still doing Thursdays. So no, Thursdays was the only thing.
Yeah, Thursdays. So you were still promoting
Thursdays. All I had was Thursdays.
But you weren't an owner anymore.
Correct.
But they were paying you as a promoter. Correct. To keep the Thursdays going.
Correct.
This is when we started working together.
Correct.
And then you started Fridays at BOA.
Yeah.
Because I remember you told me I could help you with Fridays at BOA. If that goes well, you had me on Thursdays. Yeah. And then you had Saturdays at
Carbone.
Yes. And then next you had Saturdays at District Stop.
Citizen. District Stop 2.
You did Cinema Saturdays.
First.
Before Citizen.
Before Citizen. That's
so
right.
Things are going relatively well because Thursdays are not well, sorry, but you're starting to make money again.
Yep.
So Thursdays are busy. Fridays were a hit as well.
Yeah. So this is where I decide I swear off overhead.
So you're going to stop owning spots. The problem is you had way too much lease, $80,000 in leases.
Too many leases, correct.
Okay.
Too much payroll, too many leases. I'll take on some partners like yourself to help promote the nights.
Yeah.
Quinn came on board and other people just came on board.
Like John was helping.
Exactly. Like we had good friends to help out, and that
Yeah.
was it. That was the extent of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I liked it because
Yeah.
whatever I made, I could keep most of it. I had
So
no office.
you might not have like 8 million in revenue or whatever you had back then between
Yeah.
the spots, but at least you have zero
That's
overhead
right.
between everything.
That's right. Something goes wrong,
Controllable. Yeah.
very controllable.
No risk or less risk at
That's
least.
right. Very minimal risk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So things start looking up, would you say?
No, life is still fucking pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But but the thing is, I'm still content with the fact that we're in the right trajectory, right?
Okay.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but now I'm just making some cash and I'm paying off debts, paying off bills, and at that time I just cannot even answer the phone, cannot answer text because everyone's asking for money.
Yeah.
You're dealing with investors that
So
lost
you're
money.
your millions not owing the bank $1 million. It's spread out between people you borrowed.
It's everybody, right?
Okay.
And that's the worst part.
Yeah.
If it was the bank, it would actually be easier.
Because then you could just make your monthly payment. You know what you
You're
have
low,
to make. Yeah.
exactly. Right?
But this is you, friends who, whatever.
Friends
trust.
and people you know, and you just
Okay.
can't go anywhere, right? So it's a very, very stressful time.
Yeah. At what point? So now you're doing weeklies. At what point did things start to look somewhat up? Because you're delusionally optimistic the whole time, but now you're saying that things were.
The optimism is
shitty.
shaken at this time, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you're saying this is still a shitty time. So things.
Still shitty.
It was hard to see
Yeah.
any light at the end of the tunnel, or was it?
I'm just trying to think where things really turned around.
I think at that point you're just trying to survive, really.
Just trying to survive.
Survive, or at least
Yeah.
survive and get out of it essentially, so you could try whatever you want to. So.
Yeah, I think at this time I have to just try to stay positive and focus on what's to come and keep building. And I can't even think of where the wins were along the way, selling Summer of Sound.
Well, this was 10, 11 years ago. So it's a slow climb.
Yeah. It's been to get to where we are now. It's literally been a slow climb all the way to here.
Yeah, because then there was
For sure.
however many weeklies. I think at one point we had like 8 weeklies.
Yeah.
Which was awful.
Crazy.
Because we're working together. We're
Yeah.
doing
Teo Sundays.
Teo Sundays. There was
La Roca
District
Wednesdays.
Stop on Fridays.
Yeah.
There was La Roca Wednesdays.
Yep.
There was
So we were crushing it. These are all busy nights. These are all the busiest nights in the city.
Occasional Mondays. I mean, Mondays at Upstairs.
Mondays at Upstairs, yeah.
And Mondays at District Stop we did before.
Tuesdays, where did we go? Prohibition.
Thursday's Prohibition. Oh yeah, you're right.
Tuesdays there,
Tuesday's
right?
Prohibition.
Make Tuesdays great again.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. Should we dive into that?
Yeah, why not?
So, make Tuesdays great again. You just mentioned. So, a bunch of weeklies decided to start a campaign.
Preface this by saying the Pint closes down.
So the Pint was very busy on Tuesdays.
Yes, that was their night.
So now there's an opportunity in the weekly schedule because we were doing however many weeklies, 6, let's say we have 6 weeklies or 5 weeklies, and the Tuesday gap opens up. People want somewhere to go on Tuesday. So you decide to launch a campaign, that Prohibition. And what is it called?
Make Tuesdays great again.
Why did you name it Make Tuesdays Great Again?
Because it was a catchy line and always a play on words, what Trump would put on his hat for Make America Great Again.
So
we make some red hats.
Yeah.
Say Make Tuesdays Great Again. We hand them out everywhere, take photos everywhere. It was a hit.
It was a hit. It was busy.
It was busy.
And because it was such a hit.
Then it caught the attention of some people that didn't think it was so funny or clever.
Yeah, because in their minds, Trump is the most awful person on the planet.
And I wasn't even a fan of Trump at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, it was
nobody was.
It was like whatever. It wasn't like think of it. Oh, I love Trump. I'm going to support this.
But it was clearly like a line that became super popular. So you decided to play on it.
Yeah. So then Twitter gets lit up.
Yeah, I got attacked on
Twitter.
Twitter.
People just say, this is a bad idea. We don't like this, blah, blah, blah. And we're racist. And I'm like, we're minority owned. There's all brown people.
I remember I got attacked for defending you guys. I was told that I was a white supremacist and a fascist because I said there's no way the owners are white supremacists because they are Vietnamese and
African
Indian and
Indian.
African.
Yeah.
So you decide to shut it down, the campaign?
We shut it down.
Staff were getting attacked
because
too.
the staff were getting attacked.
Yes.
And I would say personally, I would have just stood my ground if the staff weren't getting attacked. That's not fair to them.
Yeah.
So we just shut it down, and that was it. But it was just a very, very that was probably one of the first times it really opened my eyes to like what people can see online in politics. And it was never really
That's kind of around the time when people became like social media warriors. People were starting to like attack anything they didn't like.
this time is when for sure, because obviously Trump made everything very like
Yeah,
divisive, right? So
polarized. And
that
that's kind of
polarized.
like when Facebook became
Yes.
like a thing.
Now it's like,
Like
wow, people really, this is a big thing. It wasn't so much, the middle was much wider before that.
Yeah.
Now it's got to be one side or the other, right? So
Yeah.
now we learn to not joke around about politics.
Can't use politics for club campaigns.
No, got it.
So when do things start to look up?
And I like these questions actually. So it makes me think about this stuff. And I realized that growth was just so slow. You know, it was like just chipping away at the debt and getting better and better slowly and learning lessons. And
Yeah.
you learn from all these mistakes and you learn from you can try to slightly improve on the next one, right? And I think we've come a long way opening the next restaurant, opening the next festival, doing these different things. And we've learned. We're still learning, but it definitely wasn't like an overnight turnaround. You know, when I look at the numbers.
You had a son born?
Yes. That was nice. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. That's when I moved back into my parents' house.
That was that fifth time?
That's why the fourth, fifth time. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so you're starting to make money, you're starting to pay off some debt. You have the weekly nights, you have low overhead, low risk. And then COVID happens.
Yeah. COVID happens. That's when we shut down Prohibition.
Okay. So Prohibition, that was the first time that you became an owner again.
So this is fun story.
But also low overhead.
Fun story, right?
Okay.
So I've got a track record of turning spaces around, and I don't own a club now. I haven't opened a club probably at the time for another 6 years. And Sabino, obviously I have a relationship with him. He owns a building called the Pemby on Pembina. Had a strip club there called the Body Shop.
Yeah.
I walk into the basement at one time. I'm touring the building. And it's just
like, with you.
Yeah, and it's just like this nothing space.
Black and white checkered floor,
dirty bar, furniture everywhere. Hasn't been used in years. Terrible. Nothing about it was good
except the floor.
Except the floor is cool. Right? and I literally walk around like, man, like this could be a cool spot for something. And Sabino's like, really? Even the owner doesn't think it's something to be something. I don't think anyone saw it.
I don't think. What was his plan? I think he was just showing us a space.
Yeah.
Because he was just showing us a space.
I think we wanted to rent. Someone wanted to rent for something, or they had a space available.
Yeah.
It was not the intent to turn it into something, right? And I was like, I got an idea. What about a speakeasy bar, like Prohibition style? He's like, and we'll enter through the kitchen here. And we kind of some ideas. And he's like, that's amazing. That sounds cool, right? And I'll bring you traffic to your hotel and bring traffic to the strip club.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay high rent and I don't want to lease. He's like, sure. Like the space has been empty, cobwebs for years.
Yeah.
He's probably laughing that he's even getting any rent, right? So I don't want to have to spend much overhead. I think we opened that room for like under $100,000, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
But I think it was beautiful. Probably one of my
Pedro did the whole art.
Yeah, Pedro did the whole art. All the art, did the washrooms, did the walls. It was awesome. Couches from Ducharme.
Yeah.
You know, we redid the bar. You know, Kevin from my friend from the Green Room days, he did the bar top for me, like the nice they called anyway. So everything was nice. It was beautiful, but done cheap, you know?
Yeah.
And before Prohibition, no, it was a private club.
Yes.
It was a private club.
So you walked in, but you wanted to speak. That's why it was a private club.
I can't even keep up with these things. Okay, so it was a
private club.
I didn't want to open a club. I wanted to open a private club.
Yeah.
So it was a cool members.
That's what made it different from the other mistakes.
Yes, way smarter. So it was a members only private club, secured with memberships. That was going awesome. We got a lot of traction, and then we just decided the members were paying memberships, but they weren't coming on as often, so it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
Then we turned it into a lounge. Then we turned that lounge into a nightclub. Because Prohibition does not start as a nightclub.
And that went strong for a bit.
As a cocktail bar, very strong.
Yeah.
Again, we're impatient, you know what I mean, to these concepts. You know what I mean? It's busy. There's traction. We're getting articles.
And you're also used to club sales.
100%.
Cocktail lounge sales are not going to be at all what club sales are.
Juggling the food, getting that dialed in, getting the cocktail lounge turnover. Cocktail people stay for 2 hours. They're not, it's a longer game, right? It's more longer sit times. And then we just pivot in like less than a year into the nightclub. And that runs until COVID, and then we shut down.
So how did COVID affect you?
COVID, before COVID ended, I was very sure that I was basically done with nightlife. I forget what I was going to pivot into. but I was just over. We had 8 nights going. I was going out way too much. My health was not in the best place. Admittedly, my relationship was not in the best place either. Just everything in general we were doing well.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
There was just a lot going on.
It was a lot.
I remember at that same time, I was like, whenever this is all done, I was like, I just don't want it. I was like, something has to end this because I'm just exhausted.
100%. And I don't think any person could really endure that. You know what I mean? Not for a long time. And so we were doing 8 nights out of 8 weeklies in a week out of 7 days. So that's intense, right? And
which means going, to be clear, that doesn't mean just that's how much days of operating business. That means like attending the nightclub, drinking with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're drinking 7 days a week for like months straight.
Yes.
Right.
Probably.
And if anyone's been out with me, we're not drinking lightly.
Years.
Years. It was probably 2 years for sure.
Yeah.
And even before that, it's still 4 nights.
I was going to say 4 nights.
So
from 2015 to 2018 is probably 4 nights.
4 nights minimum.
And then after that, it was like 5, 6, 7, 8 nights, depending. Yeah.
So then COVID happens and we decide everything gets reset. A year and a half goes by. You think how long was that stretch for?
Yeah, a year and a half. We started a business during COVID too.
We did. That was another business. There we go. Yeah. So we were selling sanitizer, masks, all that kind
gloves,
of stuff.
Everything,
right? Yeah, gloves, everything. So we were still entrepreneurial, still optimistic.
Trying to find a
solution. Still finding opportunities. And I planned together after didn't want to do any more events and no more brick and mortar for sure. I planned together again the first time. And the crazy thing was I booked the venue and the headliner for Together Again during COVID, anticipating that this is not going to last till September.
Yeah.
I booked Loud Luxury in February. Got a good deal. Good deal. The production company hasn't done business. The Downs hasn't had business. The DJs haven't had business. They're like, you want to book us? They're like, I'm here. I want to book you right now for September.
Yeah.
And the restrictions lifted, I think, 2 weeks before the event. You know what I mean? So we can still have gatherings of over 500 people.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it would have been big problems. We were planning parking lot parties at the time. I was planning drive-in parties, parking lot parties.
Separate.
I planned an event at the ballpark in the summer where we had only 200 capacity. Everyone had to sit at Shaw Park.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And then I planned an outdoor party at Spring Hill where we had bonfires set up, and it was at night, but you couldn't dance. The rule was you couldn't dance where you're serving liquor. So we would serve the liquor around the perimeter, and you couldn't drink in the middle. So we found a loophole that says, well, listen, the law says you can't dance and have drinks. This area, there's no drinks.
Those rules are so weird.
Yeah. Again, I'm sure the LGCA will watch us eventually and not like that, but we're just following their rules, right?
Yeah.
We're just finding ways to make it work, right? And because after a year and a half, I'm not doing any events. I'm just like itching to plan something now, right? So we do something.
People are itching to go out too.
Itching to go out, itching to go out. That was just a wild time.
So Together Again launches.
Together Again launches, whole new brand. I don't know how this all comes around. Like Summer of Sound was still going, and the first Summer of Sound after COVID was insane with Alesso. That was one of the busiest years ever. Yeah, really, really good year.
That was a fun year.
And we did, and now we have the Together Again brand. And I think that I bring back the Frost brand a year after that.
Yeah.
So now I'm fully immersing myself in promotions.
Yeah.
And not opening businesses.
So at that point, you have no overhead, but you have festivals or large parties.
Yeah, and I guess the false optimism or false, I guess however we call it, from the COVID success.
Was because the first party, the Together Again, new brand, Together Again.
It's like extremely successful.
Actually very successful. So he's like, oh, maybe this is the new thing.
This is the new thing, right? Together Again crushes it. One of the best events I've ever put on. Yeah. Financially, it was awesome.
So each time this happens, just to be clear, you see a success, so you like double, triple, quadruple down.
Yes. That's right.
Which is usually what you're supposed to do. So it's not like it was a stupid move per se.
Yes. So I have Together Again brand. I do that. It goes really well. I do the Summer of Sound, Alesso. Yeah. It goes one of the best Summer of Sounds ever. Goes great. So I'm like, maybe this is what we need to do. People are coming back, right?
Yeah.
I throw Together Again. The second one was extremely successful with Steve Aoki.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, whoa, 3 for 3. Like we haven't had this success in a long time. I remember
that.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what we're gonna do. And then after those 3, I think 8 of the next 9 lose money.
Yeah.
So
I remember this because so I had moved to Vancouver,
yeah,
and then I was trying to find a way to come back because what was going on in Vancouver wasn't working out. So I messaged you asking for work, and I came back and started working as like a manager or whatever
yeah,
for Together again.
yeah,
So when I came back, things were hot. I
yeah,
think Lab Luxury had just finished, and then we were preparing for Stevie Aoki and so on, and that was
yeah.
making money. And then I think I remember the next like 8-9 months were like everything is losing money.
Everything loses money.
Yeah.
So we launch Frost, it loses money. We do the next Summer Sound, it loses 2-day Summer Sound, it loses a freaking mountain of money.
Yeah.
We launched the next Together again, that loses a
dead mouse. The painful part about these things losing money is that we're spending however much time leading up to it. You're booking the artists, you're planning it, you're marketing it. Right. And you're spending 3 months or whatever hoping that this one thing will make enough money to pay off whatever you should be making over that time.
Yes.
And then it loses money. So now the last 3-4 months are essentially a waste.
So the next 2 years we go through this
up
and down, not even up and down, just a down and down.
Yeah, pretty much down. I think there was one in that whole time.
Only one. So we make money at Scream. So now we keep that. Now we've got 4 brands that are consistent. They've been doing better.
Yeah.
Sponsorship has really come through this year. Just been more stability.
So this year. So
this year's looking very good.
Sponsorship was trying to look good. Summer Sound last year was crazy.
But yes.
Yeah.
Better venue deals, better sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
More planning in advance. Like I don't know if you noticed, like I announced the calendar for next year.
Yeah,
a year in advance.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of for a promoter because you never want to promote your next one before your first one, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you know what? Let's just give everyone the calendar of every single Juicy Together again, everything. Plan your year. If you really want to attend, there's no excuse because 8 months in advance.
Yeah.
It's going to happen or not, right?
Yeah.
So that's a new model. And that strategy helped with the sponsors. The sponsors now see, oh, wow, we know when the events are, this is what we're going to do. So you're going to see a lot of new brands come through with us that have partnered with us, which is also helping to stabilize the events. We've never needed to get rich off the events. We just didn't want to lose money. And the sponsors and the venue deals will help us buffer enough that we should not lose money this year.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that we obviously get to this while we still have time.
Yeah.
So now there's another big shift from events happening.
Yes.
You just launched Hostly, an app.
Yep.
You want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yes. So last year, November 2024, November 2nd, I run into a friend in Miami. She tells me about an idea about how she's connecting people and meeting she'd use an app in the States. And another friend a month later tell me how she applied to go on a cruise with a guy on TikTok. These two ideas kind of like simmer in my brain for like weeks and months. And I tell you about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? There's something here. There's a new way that people want to connect. They want to meet in person, but they want set plans. A lot of the unknowns are stopping people. There's a lot of barriers to meet. How do we remove them, right? We spend months coming up with this idea, fine-tuning it. A year later, we're now launched. We're approved in the Apple Store. We're in the Google Play Store. Yeah. It's been awesome. It's still access code protected, but people are downloading it. They're using it. The feedback's been unbelievable.
And I remember leading up to that, we had a few ideas that were like,
yes,
because we knew there was a gap in like the dating market. There's something wrong and so on. And then you came back with this idea that you launched.
Yes.
Why do you think it'll succeed? Like what makes it stand out from whatever else is on the market as apps go?
I think, a couple of reasons. From the personal standpoint, I think that people, for one, we know that they want something different right now.
Yeah.
They're tired of swiping.
So you know this because you have been in the industry of entertaining people for 25 years.
I've been connecting people, giving them experiences to go out, introducing them in some way, connecting people.
And to be clear, each time you actually predicted what was going to happen next. You predicted the nightclubs happening next and so on, every trend.
I predicted the poker trend, the nightclub trend, the event center trend, the entertainment, like rec room style trend.
Festival trend.
All of these that we've been a part of.
Yeah. So you see the movement of what people are looking for.
Yeah. So I've been a part of it. I do feel I have a good read on people.
Even the restaurant, Deer and Almond was a prediction.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Of what's missing, right?
You were early with bubble tea, but
but still, the idea is there. I think reading the markets has been a good skill.
Yeah.
Right? And just understanding people and what they want, I think, right? And how do you take that skill to take it and translate it to something bigger? I do feel like Winnipeg's a great market, but people say the ceiling is low here. There's only so much you can grow. So forever, I've been dreaming for a project that back to the internet pharmacy that could let me travel, that you can expand and have no real limits or barriers or how much you can grow, right? And with this app, it also ties in all my experience and what things I've done and things that I love to do. bringing people together and connecting them and finding ways for people to find fun events to do. It all just ties in together, right?
Yeah. So it seems like you almost had like a inner realization or like self-awareness that showed you that this is what you should be doing based on everything you did.
Yeah.
Did that come as like how did that come about?
I wasn't even looking for a product that encapsulated everything.
Yeah.
It just came that's what made this feel like the right one.
But I feel like the initial idea actually wasn't exactly what it is now. So maybe did you start adding different elements from what you learned to change or develop Hostly into what it is?
Well, the idea in the beginning is more for dinners and going out and more different things like that, right? But I always wanted to be able to to promote to the masses.
Yeah.
I don't want, as you know, when we're running our clubs, everyone's promoting an idea to us for apps. They're always every app. I swear, it's always been a VIP app. For 10 years, if someone said
such a narrow market.
For 10n years, every year someone says, "I have an app for you, Steven." I literally would be like, "Let me guess, it's a VIP app." Right? And they'd be different.
You can contact them.
They'd be different, but they're all VIP apps, right?
Yeah.
So, and I just don't want to deal with that because again, it's narrow. Not to say you can't turn it into a unicorn.
No,
it can be done.
It is.
But but exactly. This is not what I feel like what I want to be doing, and it never got me excited.
Yeah.
Until Hostly, I'm just excited because no matter who I talk to, I feel like no matter who I talk to, I feel they can bring them some value.
Yeah, everybody,
right?
Including businesses.
And that's the second layer. So one is I know that people are tired of what they're using now. I know this because I can see Facebook groups, hundreds of Facebook groups saying, "How do I make friends?" I spoke to everyone at Commonwealth for months. Every friend that came in, I would ask them about how they make friends, how they do dating right now, what they like, what they don't like. So I have firsthand experience talking to these people. And they said all the same pain points. And how do you, now you start checking all the boxes, how do you solve that, right? And I truly know that Hostly will solve the problems. So
let's paint out 3 scenarios. I'll say one after another, and I'll give you an avatar, and you tell me how that person will find use in Hostly.
Okay, let's try.
Okay, so first one, 25-year-old girl, single, and 25-year-old girl single in university, let's say.
Okay.
Has a job. Just why would she find use in this app?
Well, for one, 25-year-old single girl, she's getting matches already on dating apps for the most part, probably. Okay. So she has to filter through a lot of DMs. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know these people. She knows what they look like. Yeah. But she doesn't know where they would want to go on a date. She doesn't even know if they even want to take her on a date. Okay. So women nowadays are just tired of answering all these. Imagine, I don't know this, but your DMs are 100. Hey, hello. Hey, what's up? Hey, beautiful. You have all these messages. Yeah, it's exhausting because that's what they get, right?
I'm one of those guys. It used to be. I haven't know for now.
And if I was single, I would be one of those guys too. So that's the process. Yeah. Okay. And one would think that's not a pain point. She's getting matches. Yeah. But filtering through these people,
it's so hard.
It is exhausting.
But you can't tell who's who. You can't
tell who's real and what they want to do.
What's personable.
And it's sometimes it's almost I want to talk to you, but are you gonna take me on a date first? Where are we gonna go? Yeah. You feel,
or what's your intention?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't want to. Women or anyone doesn't want to have to go through that process. With Hostly, the guy would say they would create the event already. Okay. And the guy would say, I want to go to this sushi restaurant or this vegetarian restaurant, and this is the day I'm free. So the girl can just apply to the date if she wants to go hang out and it fits her schedule and she knows where to go. Yeah. Now for a girl who maybe doesn't want to join a guy's event, she can make her own event. And she can say, I don't like sushi, but I love steak. Yeah. And I'm only available Thursdays. My schedule is busy in the weekends, but I'm available Thursday nights. She can say, I want to go on a date Thursday night and the bills will be split. She could say, she's going to pay for the bill herself. Yeah. That removes the awkwardness when the check comes out.
Yeah, she doesn't mind paying the bill because in the scenario, because she knows she's going to be getting and could filter through all the people that are.
That's right. Yeah. So, but let's say the bills are split. Yeah. The guy would be like, oh wow, this girl wants to go on a date. She's going to pay the bill. Cool.
And I know what she likes.
I know what she likes. Yeah. I know when she's free. Yeah. She's going to love going on this app because it'll allow her to filter through without any awkwardness. She sets the terms.
Tinder first date awkwardness, which we see all the time.
All the time. I had girls tell me horror stories like, Steven, I don't mind paying, but this guy begged me for this date for weeks. Yeah. And then we go out and then he doesn't want to pay. I'm like, well, I don't mind paying, but you're pursuing me. You just assume. We all assume these things. Yeah. But then all of a sudden you're stuck. And again, now you can but she can even say, listen, I want to go on this date. I want the guy to pay. I want the guest to pay.
Okay.
At least the terms are there ahead of time. The guy can decide that and see that. So I think I think the people in that demographic will love this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Avatar 2.
Yeah.
40-year-old guy has a kid, is married, but maybe I guess now he's in his 40s, he doesn't go out as much. Maybe he needs to meet some friends or
Okay.
yeah. And let's say he has a career, not a business.
Okay. So this guy wants to make more friends.
Yeah.
He probably wants to find some stuff to do with his kids sometimes. He wants to go out and make some friends, maybe watch sports, things he wants to do.
Yeah.
So again, if he's got a career, he works 9 to 5, he's free in the evenings, weekdays probably free on Sundays, maybe Saturdays. Let's say he likes football. He makes an event, says, play date, dad, play date, kids. Yeah, maybe his wife is going to be busy on the weekends. He's taking his kids somewhere, right?
Yeah.
He can set up an event, be like, listen, I'm a dad, I'm married, I've got a kid that's 10 years old, for example.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to rec room. I'm looking to meet other dads out there to bring their kids out because other dads will have fun with their kids and the kids will have fun with other kids, right? So they find activities to go to like in the kid centers. They want to go to the rec room. He says, this is my age, this are my interests. The kids I'm looking for someone to hang around my kid and myself while we entertain our kids on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
He makes the event. He could say, everyone pays their own bill.
Okay.
Rec room, Saturday, noon, who wants to come? That's a cool way for him to have an activity with his kid, to meet other kids, and also activity for him to make some friends. If he doesn't want to bring his kid, he can say Sunday, maybe he wants to watch football. I'm looking to make some friends that he can say maybe in his area, right? Easier. I live in the north part of town. We're going to go to the Leopold's on Henderson. Sunday, I'll buy the first round of beer. Who wants to join me? Automatically, guys will only join if they like beer. If they like football, they'll come down. At least now he can filter through friends. If you match on any kind of friend group, the problem is you're going to be like, hey, what's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah.
And then it's awkward because now it's like, oh, you like football? Like, oh, I hate football.
Yeah.
And you're like, now you're dancing around like things that now you don't even want to be there, right? So you remove that awkwardness if you can lay out all the things ahead of time, right?
And it sounds like it's almost a safe way for them to help their kids make friends.
100%. 100%. And again, removing all these awkward like conversations and just having the things up front, it just saves everyone a lot of time.
From your house on your phone while you're sitting on your couch.
Yes.
Okay. Avatar 3, business owner. I would say he owns a coffee shop going relatively well. He's comfortable. Why would he get on the app?
Okay. So no matter what business you have, very few, none that I know of, are busy 24 hours a day, open to close, no matter what, right? He could use the app to help drive people to his restaurant by helping create events or people that he knows create events on the slower times. A good example is like, there's going to be the rush in the morning and the rush after work. During the middle, you may not get a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Maybe weekdays. We don't know, whatever hours. Unfortunately, I don't know coffee shop hour rushes. You would know better than me. But I think the 2 o'clock is going to be slow, you would assume, right?
Yeah.
So, or just before close. So the idea is he can create events for people to kind of give them a discount to say, listen, 25% off during these hours. Who wants to come down?
Yeah.
That would help driving traffic. I have a restaurant owner friend of ours who said the same thing. He's like, listen, I'm busy all the time, Steven. I don't see where this would add value here. I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. Your lounge dies down at what time? It's like, right around 10 o'clock. And then dinner dies down at 9.
Yeah.
So what if I brought in like 20 women to sit at your bar with a glass of wine at 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Would that help you? Like, that would be amazing. How would you do that? It's like, that's what we can do. We can drive traffic to your business in the times that you want, the demographic you want, and that will help hold people, right? The coffee shop, same idea. We know when you're going to be slower. As long as they want to offer some kind of promotion, we can help drive the traffic when they need it. I think that business owners, as much as people will love this, I think business owners will love it just as much.
I guess they could find a way to use a product at the end of the day too. Like a coffee shop's going to throw out all their drip coffee and stuff at the end of the day, for example,
100%.
or whatever. Maybe their bakery, they reset every day.
100%. See, I didn't even think of that. We always use.
I was going to tell you about that later.
Yeah. I love we use the beer and wine as an example. Because as you know, with beer, the draft line sits for long enough. You want to be clearing out product, right? And wine, you have bottles you can only sip for 2-3 days. You want to clear out desserts.
Yeah.
We clear out the stuff, right? Sometimes you throw it out. Why not use it as an item to help bring in customers on the slower times? And now even baked goods are awesome. Like obviously that stuff's got to go too, right? So definitely promote it out and people will come through. There's just so many unlimited use cases for this. I truly believe that.
I love it. So when you look back at all those years, what was the happiest when you were the happiest?
If I look back at all the times when I have to look purely when I was the happiest, definitely the 2 times that stand out immediately was doing the internet pharmacy and traveling around and Republic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what actually made those stand out?
Lack of financial stress.
Yeah.
New industry, exciting. The excitement of something new for sure was in there, the novelty of it. And I think just at the time, there was just people, everyone around me was happy. There was no stress around it. I wasn't bringing stress to other people, and the pressure from investors are being sad. Republic, the owners are all happy at the time.
So you had more peace of mind.
More peace of mind. And it wasn't like, there was still like, it's still like debts to pay.
Yeah.
Right.
But you knew you were able to.
I was able to pay them, and
Yeah.
we were just happy. I mean, Republic was cool because my first taste of making a lot of people happy.
Yeah.
That was a cool part.
Okay.
That was a big part
So
of
you could see your impact.
Yes.
You could see the work you're doing,
Yeah.
how it's actually impacting.
Yeah.
You see 1,000 people a night having fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, like, it was rewarding to bring something to connect people
Yeah.
together,
And
right?
people are
For sure.
celebrating their birthdays and bachelor
Yeah.
parties or whatever.
Yes,
else out there.
that's time I never did a festival for that, right? So
Yeah.
this was like, these are like smaller raves. Sure, so it wasn't the first time. The raves are the first taste of that.
Yeah.
But Republic was like was like the nonstop
You're coming to
dopamine
Europe,
rush because
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
every weekend, right?
Yeah.
The raves were actually even hard to enjoy because then every 4 months you lose money. You're like not even like super happy, but you get the good feeling of like, you know, like the nod where someone's like, oh, I needed this night. It's a great night. So you feel fulfilled in that way, you know?
Yeah. Like you even see that you light up more the moment you talk.
Yeah, totally.
So now that you know that, you think that Hostly, what you're working on now, will fulfill the same things?
100%. I think that the cool thing with Hostly is like the challenge of them. Imagine how happy you are when you make a nightclub busy every weekend. How happy you'll be when you're connecting people, making them friends, helping them fall in love, helping a restaurant be busier every day.
I'm sure you'll start to get messages from people.
Oh yeah,
once it happens.
Yeah,
too.
And you'll get thousands of people a day in cities across the world. I can't even imagine
that
feeling.
Dopamine
that would be just like the crazy. And then it's like, we're going to Australia, we're going to freaking Vietnam, we're going to Europe, whatever it's going to be. I think it's going to be just nonstop. So I'm just like beyond excited for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
The key to happiness. Wow. The key to happiness, I guess, finding something that really just excites you and fills you to keep you going. I mean, money for sure was never my motivation ever in all these things.
So you weren't happier because of you were making more money. You're happier because of the fulfillment that came with what was earning you the money.
Combination of both for sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Money is freaking important, very important. You know.
Yeah. Well, because it took away the stress to allow you to have your peace of mind.
Yes, for sure. And I think that if Hostly does not become a multi-billion-dollar app, it still took care of my life and my family. I could do this, and I can't imagine I wouldn't be the most happiest because how fulfilled I'd be, the impact you'd be making. You know
if you have 1 million happy users, then
and I'm making a living. I'm making $500,000 a year, which is a great career. I'm not going to complain that it's not worth freaking 10 billion. It's not. So that's not I wouldn't say that. You would still work towards that, but the idea is that you'd be so fulfilled and happy. You imagine how that would be happiness overload.
Incredible.
That would be like I can't even comprehend what that would feel like when you're like connecting 1 million people a month. You know what I mean?
I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
So are you happy now?
I am very happy right now.
Why?
So that's a good example too, why money doesn't make you as happy. Because even though I'm not making the most money, I'm still happy right now.
A lot of people would say that you're a millionaire right now.
Most think that for sure. Yeah. But I'm definitely not. No. And you know that. You know, I think I am the happiest I've been since Republic right now.
Yeah.
Just with the hope of what Hostly will be, just where the sponsorships and the events are turning right now with the events, just seeing Commonwealth, seeing the banner over for it to come back. All these things are making me very happy, even though I'm still paying debts to this day.
Yeah.
Still paying them. Even though we're still
12 years later, 11 years later, after Record closed, still paying the debts.
I'm still paying the debts, yeah.
But 2008, when Republic launched, was the happiest you were since today. So 18 years before you reached similar level of happiness.
And just for the record, this does not count the days my kids were born.
There's certain events where there's peaks, but you're talking about overall happiness.
Overall happiness, correct. Yes.
Over the period of time.
Yes. At this point right now.
Have to protect yourself.
Yeah. Sure. Because someone's going to say something for sure in the comments.
Yeah.
But this, like that's also actually an awesome question. And that's exactly true. From those moments, I think this is the first time I would be this happy in that long.
18 years.
2009 to 17, 18 years, correct.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's good to see then.
Yeah.
Anything
I
else?
think you can see it. You see me.
Well, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
I need to make sure everybody else.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like you can, I think people around me can see it. I'm lit up a different way now in the past year for sure.
Yes. Well, you're much more energized and focused now than you are because which I've been telling you for well,
Yes.
since I started working
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you have 13 businesses right now.
Trim it down to 4.
I think we had trimmed it down to like 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
progress.
And I think right now the crazy thing is I think I'm trimmed it down to probably 3 or 4 now.
Yeah. With Hostly probably occupying more than 50% of your
Correct.
time.
Correct. Yes. So the events and Hostly are the number 1 and 2, and then we have Commonwealth and other things, but they're so dominant in the big 2 now that once they go better and better, we just scale back. But I mean, I can't help the brain how it needs to be like have the multiple projects, but I do think that with Hostly fully launched, it would occupy most of the time for sure.
So as we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say to anybody listening who made it this far?
Yeah. I mean, I think you asked a lot of cool questions, man. I never thought about some of this stuff. It's cool to think about like what really has driven me to be happy and what's caused happiness. And I think we need to find that thing that really drives you. You know, what you love to do and what you're good at are generally 2 different things. To align them is hard to do.
But what you are good at or what you love will possibly also become what you're good at if you love it enough that you do it all the time.
Yeah. And there is a method to get there, a process. It's not easy all the time, right?
Yeah.
But you have to find a way to do it.
Well, it pretty much took you 18 years to wrap back around.
Yeah. And I do think that you have to do something you don't like sometimes to build the foundation to do what makes you happy. I think those people forget.
Yeah.
I think do what makes you happy is actually bad advice most of the time.
Can be.
I think that this generation, unfortunately, is driven on do what makes you happy. This is the first generation or second, like we're being alive. Before that, there's no such thing as do what makes you happy. Yeah. For the thousands of years, the millennia of human existence, only now is do what makes you happy has ever been even a thing.
Fair.
Because it had to be do what makes your country happy, do what makes your family happy.
Yeah.
We all lived for that. But now we have the freedom to even have that in our conversation. It's a crazy time to be alive, right?
Yeah.
But we cannot forget that you need a foundation. I've been lucky to have very strong family support, strong friendship support, strong network to help me out. Even when I want to do what makes me happy, they've been able to help me. So find what you're passionate about, find what you love, find a way to do it, but make sure you have the foundation that's there before you can chase that dream, in my opinion. You know, it's not easy to just go do what makes you happy.
I think that's good advice. So on that note, we'll wrap it up. So thank you for being on the podcast. Thanks you for I think you started as a mentor, became a friend, became a business partner. So thank you for 12 years.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome.
Of friendship and so on.
And many more years to come for sure.
Yeah, of course. Okay, awesome. Make sure to download Hostly on any app platform. What is it? Apple Store?
Download
Apple
now
Store.
the Apple Store and the Google Play Store.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
That was awesome.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for listening to episode 3 with Stephen Hua. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about because we've worked together for almost 13 years now. So I'll definitely be having him on again in the future. If you did enjoy this episode, I'll be talking to guests every week about the topic of happiness. Please subscribe to me wherever you listen to your podcasts. That could be Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, X, wherever. You can also follow me on all social media platforms. So until next time, thank you for listening and be love.